Yo, yo, man, back at it again with another live stream. First time doing multiple live streams in one day, but hey, I got some time on my hands and I want to keep busy, man. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. I was actually going to make this a regular video. Um, but I said, you know what? It's a lot to unpack in this. So why not make it a live stream, man? So we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up on this, man. That's real. Let me see here. Let's go. Let's go. What's up? Beats by Jay. What's good, homie? Appreciate you coming in. Hit that like button for your boy. We're gonna chop this topic up, man. This is always a subject when it comes to King David that we can learn from. A lot of insight we can pull from King David and his issues with Bathsheba. So I think a lot of us can identify with this, just being tempted to engage in sexual activities that we know are not profitable for what we're trying to do. So let's go, man. Hope you guys are enjoying your families, relaxed and whatnot. But man, let's get into this, man. Like, why was David why was Bathsheba rather so irresistible to King David, man? And after reading this story, you realize there was a few things that were key. That caused David to fall into this transgression. Number one, the Bible says that when it was a time where kings went to war and Israel was at war, and David, for whatever reason, he decided to stay back. He didn't go out and fight with the people. He stayed back in the kingdom, which meant he had a lot of time on his hands, man. He had a lot of time on his hands, all of his commanders, all of his chiefs out fighting, throttling their enemies. What's up, my boy? Life of Jawan, man. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Hey, you know what? I want to invite some of y'all onto this live stream, man, to just chop it up with your boy for the people, man. So if y'all want to jump on, if a couple people want to jump on, I can add like 2 people, and we could just chop this thing up all together. You feel me? So let me know in the comments, man. I'll send you the link and try to put you guys on so we can chop this thing up, man. But number one, David was he was supposed to be at war, bro. He was idle. He didn't have anything to do. So it says that he woke up from his bed in the evening and he sees Bathsheba on the rooftop bathing. He sees her on the rooftop bathing, man. Like, she naked, like she getting it in. And dude, he over there just looking at her like, whoa, who is this? And you got to mind you, Everybody's at war. Everybody's at war. One of the things we have to realize is this, guys. When we on the semen retention journey, we're trying to live our lives pure before the Most High God. We have to be spiritually prepared for the temptations that we are going to enter. And it's obvious that David was not spiritually prepared for what he was about to see, right? Because the sin wasn't that he came out on the rooftop and he saw Bathsheba. The sin was when he came out on the rooftop, he saw Bathsheba and he began to inquire about who this woman was. So when they sent word, they came back with the news like, yo, this is Uriah's wife, Bathsheba, Uriah the Hittite, right? So David sends the messengers to go inquire about old shorty, and it was like, yo, she married. That's the wife of Uriah. He was like, man, go bring her here. They go get the girl, bring her to the palace. David sleeps with her. Appreciate it, my boy. Let's chop it up, man. David sleeps with this chick, man. He sleeps with Uriah's wife. Now, mind you, she was beautiful. That's not her fault, right? She was beautiful. That's not her fault. You know what I'm saying? And but David wasn't spiritually prepared. He wasn't spiritually prepared for what he was about to encounter. He was not prepared for what he was about to encounter. So, number one, he wasn't spiritually prepared because, number one, he was supposed to be at war with his troops, with his army. He's supposed to be commanding his army. It says that David, in a time when kings actually went to war, they didn't stay back. They actually went out to war. For whatever reason, David didn't want to go. He wasn't about that life at the time. He didn't go. He stayed back, right? So while his army is out fighting for the freedom of Israel, he's chilling. He's spiritually not prepared. He's not prepared because he's supposed to be doing one thing. He puts that aside. Nah, you guys go ahead and do that. And then falls into a terrible, terrible transgressions. Now I'm thinking, David's probably like, yo, why didn't I go to war? Why didn't I just go to war, man? How did I get myself caught up in this situation? Because now he done slept with this woman, this man's wife. And then on top of that, he gets her pregnant. She gets pregnant, right? So when Bathsheba sends word back to David, he's still trying to cover up this lie, yo. He's still trying to cover up this lie. Fabulous Cap, what's good? He's still trying to cover up this lie, man. Hey, man, I really want some of y'all to come on here, man, and help your boy out, man. I want to get some different perspectives and throw some different ideas out there and see what's up. So if you want to join this live stream, bro, with your boy, let me know, and I'm going to send you a link. Y'all can jump on. We can chop this up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so he goes up and he's still trying to cover up this lie, bro. So then he goes and gets Uriah, brings Uriah back, asks him how the war was going. He's scheming, right? So he's like, yo, go ahead and, go on back to your wife, bro. Take a break, man. Chill out. You know what I'm saying? Go holler at your old girl, man. You're doing a great job, man. Appreciate your service, man. Appreciate what you're doing. Go home and enjoy your wife. Go home and enjoy your wife. Uriah was an upright man. So the next morning, David found him out in the front of the gate, sleep with his troops. David's like, yo, how come you didn't go home to your wife, bro? He was like, man, how can I go home and make love to my wife when my brothers are out here fighting for Israel, going to war? He was like, man, I would never do that to you. Talking to David, he's like, I'd never do that to you. Right? This dude was a righteous brother, man. He was down for the cause. David like, dang, right? He's like, okay, spend the night, right? David tried to send him out again, bro. Uriah, he ain't having it. So then old boy come back, the king, the leader of the army, and he tells him, he says, yo, put this man on the front line. So now he has to murder this man. He's going to murder this man, all because, think about this, bro. He's about to murder this man. He ordered this man's execution. This all started with lust. He ordered this man's execution, bro. Order this man's execution, put him on the front lines. Uriah gets killed. Crazy thing about this, because Uriah is dead, there's no longer a covenant between Uriah and Bathsheba, right? There's no covenant. She's dead. So she's actually free to be with whoever. You feel me? So David takes her and yeah, bro, takes her and makes her his wife, and they got a baby. So he think the whole thing is like it's covered up. But God sees everything. He sees everything, dog. He sees everything, man. Everything we do. The Bible says that our actions and our thoughts, think about this. Our actions and our thoughts are made bare before him. So God hears what you're saying inside your heart. He hears what you're saying in the innermost part of your being, bro. All of your plans, all of your schemes, he can hear it. Right? He can hear it, bro. David scheming, David plotting. He wasn't spiritually prepared for the temptation. He should have been at war, fighting. He should have been at war, fighting with the troops, man. He should have been at war, fighting with his troops. But for whatever reason, he wasn't ready to do that. He didn't want to do that. You got to understand, yo, whatever your responsibilities are, do your best to maintain those responsibilities, bro. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be idle or spiritually irresponsible, because that idle time can lead to your destruction, right? When you just don't feel like doing it today, right? You don't feel like doing that today, man. YouTube user, what's up, my boy? Into the light. What's up, my brother? I'm back at it again. Second live stream today, man. We going hard, man. Might as well. You know, I don't want to remain idle. You know, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing anything, but I'm like, you know what? Let me do a live stream, bro. Let me do a live stream. Let me keep myself occupied, right? Let me keep working. Let me keep grinding. Let's chop it up on this King David, yo. Let's chop it up on this King David. So we got to make sure that we are spiritually prepared for the temptations that we are going to encounter. Here's the thing, guys. We are not exempt from temptation. That's obvious, right? But you have to be spiritually prepared for what you are going to encounter. David was not prepared. It's not like he was out there sleeping around with every married woman. This wasn't his MO. The Bible says that David was a man after God's own heart. David was a real rider for God. But this particular moment, he let his guard down. He was not spiritually prepared to walk out on his rooftop and see Bathsheba. Let's take Joseph, for example. Joseph was in his master's house, and his wife unexpectedly just leashed onto him to have sex. She just threw herself at him. She probably just ripped her stuff off and was like, yo, come lay with me. Joseph didn't have time to really assess the situation. But what he did was he was spiritually prepared. He fled. He ran. He got out of there. What David did was he went out there and he saw Bathsheba. Imagine, bro. Imagine seeing a beautiful woman, right? You in your apartment, you in your condo, you looking out the window of your home, and you see your neighbor next door. A coincidence, so to speak, right? You walk past your window, or you see this beautiful woman bathing, or you see her naked. And you can actually watch her in full view, right? You can actually see the goodies. You have to be spiritually prepared for that, bro. You have to be spiritually prepared for that. Let me send my dog Juwan the link, man. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Put a pin in that real quick. I just need you. I can email you the link. I just need your email, dog, and I can shoot it to you. Let me know. Send me the email, bro. I can shoot it to you. Oh snap. What did I do? Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. Hold on. Yeah, like a Jawan, bro. I just need your email, dog, and I can send you the link, or you can email me if you want. I'm put my email in here. Hold on. You can email me, and I'll send you the link and let you in the studio. I got room for one more person, man. If y'all want to join in, we're gonna chop this up. Fatal J, what's up, dog? You want to jump in? Fatal J, man, you want to jump in on the screen, bro? Let me know, man. I want you to jump in, dog. If you busy, if you're not busy. Hold on, let me pull my email up real quick. For sure. Jawan, let me know, bro. I'm looking out for my email right now. Send me that email, dog. I'll let you in. We can get your perspective on this, man. Straight up. But yeah, man. So, all right, for sure. Let me see here. But yeah, man. We got to be spiritually prepared for these temptations, bro. So like I was saying, like you walk out and you see this beautiful woman, you see your neighbor, you see your neighbor's wife. She's naked. She doesn't know that you can see her, so she's just out there free, right? She's just free out there. She's just doing her thing, going about her normal day. She don't even know she's being watched, but you have the opportunity to zero in on her. Comments are delayed. All right, let me see here. Hold on. My bad. I'm gonna try this. Hold on. All you got to do is grab this link right here. Just grab the link. Boom. That's even simpler. I don't even know what I was thinking. That's the link right there, yo. So all you got to do is click on that link, and then it'll bring you into the studio. So for Fatal J, you just copy that link, and if you get time, you can jump in. Juwan, you can just copy that link. You get time, you can jump in. So you watching your neighbor, right? Boom. You got to be prepared for that, bro. Because who's stopping you? Who's stopping you from looking at your neighbor's wife? Who's stopping you? You feel me? Who's stopping you? Right? In order for you not to give in to the temptation to look and to meditate and to conceive that evil that's brewing, you have to be spiritually prepared. You can't have your guard down. David had his guard down. He was not prepared for what he was about to encounter, right? And that one transgression, bro, led him to sleep with a man's wife, get his wife pregnant, and then murder that man. That's a lot to deal with, bro. And God brought the judgment upon David heavy for that. He brought the judgment upon David real heavy for that, bro. Real heavy, man. So we got to understand, bro, we have to be spiritually prepared for the temptations. Why was Bathsheba so irresistible, bro? The lust was brewing. David had an issue with that lust, bro. He had an issue with that lust. The Bible says when this man he was like on his deathbed, dog. The way they tested to see if this man was alive was they put a young virgin next to him, keep him warm, see if he would respond, wake up, or do something. Nothing. Think about that. This was his MO. Yet he was a man after God's own heart. What's up, big homie?
It's good.
What's good? Hey, man, appreciate you jumping on, bro. Want to say, hey, tell the people about your channel, man, where they can find your information. Bro.
Wait, hold up. It's like an inconsistency.
On my end?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Hold
up. Are you playing it in the background?
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn that off.
Hold up, maybe that's me. My bad. All right.
That's
Wait,
you?
say something again.
You hear me?
It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
All right, for sure. Oh, you
What's
muted.
good?
I can hear you now.
Huh?
I can hear you now.
All right, bet. But yeah, I just woke up from a nap. I feel you on the not being idle. Like that's really a good one because today I ended up leaving work early,
Right.
and I felt myself idle. And I was like, man, like this is when the enemy works the most. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm glad you're speaking about this topic right here because it's definitely something a lot of young guys need to hear for real.
That's real, man. I think it's so many interesting angles that we can take with this story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
David and Bathsheba, man. It's so many angles we can take. And one of the things I wanted to dive into was like, what was it that, because obviously he wasn't prepared for what he saw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like sometimes when we go out into the real world, we don't know what we're going to encounter when we step out that door. You know what I mean? You just out there doing your thing. You at the gym, you at work, you at the traffic light, you at the gas station. You just never know what's going to pop up, right? And sometimes there are situations that happen where you come across this female and she's everything that she has everything that will cause you to be really attracted to her. And not only that, the choosing signals that she gives you are so overwhelming, right? And obvious. Now you have a decision to make, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And if we're not spiritually prepared, that's how we fall into these traps, bro.
Right.
You know
That's true. Feel me? Because on my end, right, today I was going through my Instagram list. I'm like, yo, I follow this girl. She be posting like half naked pictures. I'm like, nah.
Right.
And I had to go against this flesh and just remove her from my list. And to a lot of guys, that's very hard to do because, like you said, it's very tempting. It can happen anywhere at the stoplight, at the gym, at work. It can be so tempting, but you got to really be willing to kill this flesh for real. This flesh,
for real.
this flesh, man.
Because one sin leads to the other, right? Like he got in a situation that was so sticky. He got into a situation that was so sticky that he got this girl, he got this woman pregnant.
Right.
And then because he's the king and because of Israel's laws, regulations, he had to find a way. He tried to come up with a scheme to get Uriah from war, to kind of get him back to Bathsheba so he can sleep with her and he can be like, yo, okay, that's your baby, not my baby, right? He's trying to cover this whole thing up.
Right.
And God was like, nah, I'm gonna make Uriah stubborn. I'm gonna make sure he don't go home and sleep with his wife. So David says, okay, now I gotta kill this dude. Right?
Yeah.
Sin is like, it just leads us, it's like a snowball effect, dog. It just leads us down this path of just continuously getting into more and more and more sins. And like what you mentioned about your Instagram, I look at this, man, in the comments. New site with hot girls. These people off the chain. Like that's the devil, man. Look at
Right.
this. 3 comments in a row. Like, come on, man. That's
Oh,
my
I can't. Hold on. I don't think I could see the comments. Oh, nah, I could.
Oh, appreciate you to the light, man. Appreciate the $10 contribution, brother. Love is real out here. Um, but like my Instagram, I'm not really on it. But I know like a couple weeks ago I had to do the same thing you did, man. I just got rid of every female that I had an interaction with in the past. Every female where the possibility of something popping off, I had to let. I just went ahead and just boom, 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 boom.
All
My
right.
mild. It's really mild, but um, you don't want to fall into those temptations, man. And like I was telling them before, being sexually defiled is what allows the devil to really attack us and steal from us and throw us off our path.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So
And it also makes me think, like, from reading the David and Bathsheba story, it made me realize, like, us guys, us men, we're visual, so we see the baddie outside, we see the baddie at work. Um,
right,
just us being natural visual, like humans, that's going to trigger us. That's going to trigger us, and I feel like that's a great manifestation from what happened with David, because he seen this beautiful woman, like you said, and that triggered him. You know what I'm saying? To where he ended up making Bathsheba one of his wives, and just from seeing her shower,
right.
and that showed you the power of a woman's body too.
Yeah.
That's why God also tells them to cover, and dress modestly, you know.
And you know
Go
what's
ahead.
crazy with the modesty thing, bro? I was praying this morning, man. Or was it last night? Might have been this morning because I did a live stream this morning, man. I was telling them, yo, I had this this dream, bro. It's like one of these sexual dreams, man. I just woke up, I was so frustrated. And so praying, and I was just like, I was telling God, like, I really need your grace living in this dispensation that we live in, because it's not like we can't go anywhere and hide from what we're going to see when we step out there, right? Like
Yeah.
we have to do business, we have to network, we have to meet people. We can't eliminate all of our social media, right? It's just not reasonable.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have to engage and be in front of those temptations, because it's how the world is working, right?
Right.
And then you go out in public. I live in Florida. It's hot out here, bro. Like most time, Christmas tomorrow's gonna be pretty cold, but for the past however many years, bro, it's like 80 degrees. So the women out here, they dress like everybody's naked.
I believe it.
Everybody's naked. So they're not covering up, right? So what do we do as men when we have all of these temptations and we can't put a blindfold on and like go to the grocery store, go to the gym, like can't just stay in our rooms. So how do you prepare your day when you step out and you don't know what's going to happen? Like what are some of the things you do to like prevent yourself from falling into those traps?
Well, first and foremost, I always read the word first thing before I leave. Always say my prayers, first thing before I leave the house. And I believe, we got to have a strong prayer life, because think about it like this, like if you're not in constant communication with Christ, the enemy can easily keep creeping up on you throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? If you are in strong prayer, if you do have a strong prayer life, your Christ is like right there with you. God is right there with you. So you're not really letting in any or opening any doors for the enemy to give you those intrusive thoughts, or making you fall into temptation.
Right.
So I'm big on just praying throughout the day. And I stumble too because I work in a retail setting where,
Mm.
a lot of women from all over the world be coming in, you know what I'm saying? And they like David and Bathsheba. They bodies is nice, I'm a man, I'm gonna admit that. And sometimes I stumble, just looking at them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And you ask the average man, like, they'll be like, what's wrong with looking at a woman? But I'm a very spiritual man because life is very spiritual.
Right.
And I believe that even you just looking at a woman, the Bible says when you look at a woman, you lusting in your heart, right? You commit that adultery in your heart. So I believe just even looking at her is gonna plant thoughts in your head like, dang, like I wonder how she'll look in this position. That you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Those thoughts start to, yeah,
right,
that's
right.
true,
So
man.
I just believe in just having that constant communication with Christ, and just rebuking them spirits, you know what I'm saying, constantly because they not gonna stop. They
Yeah.
not gonna stop.
You know
You
what's
just
crazy, man? Job, in the book of Job, Job said that he made a covenant with his
with
eyes
right,
that he would not look upon, a young girl. You know what I mean? That was something that he was serious about. And living over here in the West, where our women are able to just flaunt their bodies, even when they wear even when they're covered up, the clothes are so tight, it's almost as if they're naked anyway. So they have a sweater on and some jeans, but you can see their whole physique, right?
right,
Whereas if you go to Dubai or you go to these other countries where the women are covered up, the temptation has to drop down way, way, way low. Because I mean, pretty much the only thing you can really see is their eyes. And
right,
if they do have shape, it's hard to ascertain that when you have this, you know, um, this covering on, and even their hair is covered because you got to think like we're attracted to everything about a female. So that
that's what
she
I'm
was
saying.
her hair down, her hair wasn't covered. She out there just, going in and doing her thing. And David like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You see that long hair, bro, and you just your mind start going places.
Right,
And the fact that their heads are covered, you feel me? And I'm not saying that women are gonna even the women that are here now in this day and age that are modest, um, just that modesty is appreciated because of what the extreme is. But I do kind of wish like it was like that because I feel like what would be the point of social media if these women had to be on social media covered all up? Like, you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And it's just I feel like being spiritually prepared, like you said, praying and getting your mind right before you actually
right,
open the door is important. And also, one of the mistakes I believe that David made was he should have been at war. Right, that was a very important time for Israel, and he's the king, and all the other kings are at war. David, he just sitting back chilling, right? And while he on that little vacation, or he trying to get that little mental break, boom,
yeah.
a lot of things transpired that brought a lot of evil, on his household, man.
That's true. Yeah, I actually like that. I was reading that story a few weeks back. So when I seen your topic pop up in my recommendation, I was like, yo, this is a good topic. Because I
Yeah,
feel like a lot of guys can relate to this for real. Because like you said, he was supposed to be at war. Now that I'm thinking about it, when I
right.
think back to that story, he was supposed to be at war. And yeah, he fell, he stumbled, and you know, he opened that door for that to happen. And it shows you that even those men of God, back in those times, they weren't perfect. You know, they still battled with lust. They
Yeah,
still battled with fleshly things, you know. So we're literally just manifestations of what they were going through in a sense, you know.
right.
That that's the beauty of it too.
And you know, like when we look at oh snap, what happened? They will need to connect their mic before you can add them to the screen. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I think my camera. We
Oh,
switched.
okay. Yeah, man. What I was saying was, like you're right. You know, those men in the old in the Bible, up into us to this current day, we have our limitations. We have, and which is why it's so important, man, that we really rely on God. Paul says, "I put no confidence in the flesh." You feel me? Like
Mm,
I have no confidence in my flesh, none whatsoever. Because the moment you start thinking like I'm out here doing my thing and these females can't get at me, you fall. You feel
right,
me? Like we really do need that grace from God in order to be able to overcome these temptations. And
right,
I think that reliance on God is key because when we say, look, listen, God, listen, man, listen, I don't know what's gonna happen today. So I'm gonna need you to like
right,
help me like real. Like how can God not answer your prayer when you telling him like I need you? You feel me?
right,
But when we wake up and we get our day going and we get it popping and we're not consciously aware of what we're going to run into that day and God is not on the forefront of our minds, it's easy to fall into these different situations because we don't have the armor of God on, bro. We're not we rely on our own strength, and this is what happens, right? I put it to you like this: Paul says that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal,
right.
mighty through the pulling down of strongholds, right? So a weapon for Javon, is that how you say your name?
It's Javon.
Javon. So a weapon for you, a weapon for me is prayer. A weapon for you is fasting. A weapon for you is saturating yourself with the word of God, getting this stuff, meditating on it to where it becomes part of your makeup of who you are, right?
Right,
But when we rely on our own strength, that's when we're not praying, we're not fasting, right? We're relying on willpower. You know what I'm
right,
saying? We're not meditating on God's word. Boom. Shorty come through. We trying to get the number. We trying to do this. We trying to do that. You feel what I'm saying? We in the gym. We supposed to be working out. But we positioning ourselves to see old Shorty on the elliptical. We like, God, like we working out, but we not really working out because we just watching old girl in the gym. And we kind
right,
of trying to, mysteriously follow her around the gym to see what's popping. And
right.
you just lose your way, man. And I think that's what happened to that's what happened to David, man. Because you got to think about this, bro.
Yeah,
Let's look at this from David's perspective. Check this out. It's not like David's a regular man, right? He has access, he has power, he has authority. He the king. You feel me?
right,
So he sees Bathsheba. It's in his power that he can actually bring her to him, regardless of what the situation is. Right? So when God puts you in a position of power, he puts you in a position of authority, or he puts you in a position that, you know, you have access to certain things that other people may not be privy to. God is watching how are you dealing with the level that I put you on, right? Are you
that's
going to
deep.
use my power? You're going to abuse the authority that I gave you? Okay, I see what it is. I made you king. I took you out of from being a shepherd, shepherding sheep. I put you in this position to win, and you turn around and use the power that I gave you. You prostituted it, you committed adultery, you lied, and you murdered a man. And I had to bring the prophet to you in order for you to repent and turn away from it. So we got to look at our own lives and we got to be like, yo, wherever God has me at, will I use that to take advantage of situations that are not honoring to God? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. And I had a question for you because, you know, I'm not sure if you know, but I'm 22 years old, so I'm still pretty young.
Yeah.
But I noticed that in the community, a lot of guys they desire a wife, right?
Facts.
And you know, certain people, including myself, we battle loneliness, especially when you're on this narrow path. Can't really relate with every female who's out in the world, clubbing and stuff like that. So since you are an older guy, like I just want to hear your perspective. Like, what would you say to a young man or just anybody on their walk that desires a wife and you know they're dealing with quote unquote loneliness and or just drawing weary on their walk while they're waiting for that wife to come in? Like, what would you say?
That's a good question, man. And that's the right question to be asking. And what I would say to you is, number one, desire a godly woman, someone who has a heart for God is also aesthetically pleasing to your eye. Like you talking about, the Bible says if a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. He has favor from the Lord. What men have to understand is this. Do we believe God's word or not? The Bible says that if you find a wife, you have obtained favor from the Lord. A lot of people out here getting married to the wrong people, right? They get married for lust, they get married for this, they get married because they had a kid out of wedlock, and you know, for a lot of wrong reasons, right? If you want to find that wife as a young man, that's an honorable thing. That's what you should be doing. But you have to understand this. God is not going to hand you this Proverbs 31 woman if you are not a man capable of handling that type of woman. And in the event that you do get a good girl, right? The fact that you are not where you're supposed to be spiritually, the fact that you don't really deserve this woman, there's a good chance you're gonna end up losing this woman, right? Because it ain't like that day where, you know, when you had a wife that was yours, she couldn't really leave you like that. You feel me?
Right.
So I would say for a young man is dealing with loneliness, dealing with these type of things, man, you got to keep the main thing the main thing. What is it that you want? If you want a wife, the fastest way to get to that wife is, number one, understand what the godly woman is. Because what that does for you is it allows you to filter through the garbage.
Right.
When you know what a godly woman is, then you will not go to the places where your chances of finding a godly woman are pretty much close to zero. Right?
Right.
So, you know, if you go into the club and every night and you drinking, smoking, whatever type of life you live in, you know, and you go into these places where these girls are, their skirts up to their butt cheeks, they drunk, they hang out, you're not going to find her there. But you deceive yourself if you think that godly woman is in that place, right? So when you really understand what a godly woman is, that information has to take you to the places where the godly women are going to congregate, right? I would say church, but you're going to find some HO3s in the church. So that's, you know, that's a 50-50 thing, you feel me? But places like a bookstore, you know, places like even a grocery store, you feel me? But those places where it's a party scene for the most part, it's really hard, man, to find the godly woman there. But here's the key. You have to be the godly man. If you're masturbating, if you're watching porn, you think God is going to just hand you over his daughter for you to like desecrate her, destroy her whole life because you have these addictions. And what young men have to understand is this: you should not be trying to get married until you have unless you are establishing yourself, right? Because when you take that woman, bro, that's your responsibility.
Right.
Like, this is not high school, college boyfriend and girlfriend, and we holding hands in the courtyard, and we going to McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, right? You really have to take care of this woman, bro. Like, for real. Like, the financial burden of you providing for this woman is on you, like 100%. She can help out, she can help you, but when it comes time to pay them bills, bro, you can't have a mindset of this is 50-50. Nah,
Right.
you a man, you a real man. So if I'm a real man, I'm not gonna put that burden of finances on my woman. Now she wants to help me out and she's helping. I'm accepting that every day, right? And we're gonna build this thing together. But what a young man has to understand is when you focus on things that are a distraction, right? Because you got to understand, you want to find you a young girl. You feel me? You want to find you a young girl. God bless you if you can find a virgin. God bless you. If there any virgins still out there, God bless you, young kid. You feel me? Right? But if you don't find a virgin, you want to find someone, you want to find a young woman because number one, her body's going to be bouncing back a lot quicker than if she's an older woman, right? And she's going to be able to pump out those babies, however many you guys are trying to have, and you're going to be able to shape and mold her the way you want her to be. And that's what just washing her with the word, right? The older the women that you deal with, they've already got their preconceived notions about life and everything, right? So, as a young man, you got to focus on what your purpose is, bro. What is your purpose, right? And then understand what is a godly woman. That's number two. And then um, identifying the places where you can actually find these godly women at. And that's pretty much it, right? And I feel like if you do those things, you will be able to get a beautiful, God-fearing woman despite all of the trash that's out there right now. You feel me?
Right. Nah, that's good right there. That's good right there. I ain't gonna lie. Cause the reason I asked is because yesterday I was at the gym with one of my close friends, and he was basically telling me that he doesn't have luck with women, and I'm like, bro, have you like maybe it's just your approach to it, maybe you're just not looking in the right place. Then I'm like,
Hold
do
on,
these
hold on, Javon. Fatal J, copy the link. Copy the link I just posted in the chat. Oh man, hold on. Fatal J, copy the link I just posted in the chat, bro. Yeah,
I'm just finna join? Oh, so yeah, I was basically telling him like maybe it's your approach to it. Maybe you're not. Maybe these women are claiming they're Christians, but they're probably lukewarm. It's always. That's why I was telling him like you gotta test the spirits, because it's a reason why these relationships not working. It's either just not God's will for you, or your approach is just wrong. So I felt like speaking to him about it or just bringing up this conversation because I notice a lot of men or just young guys in general are just growing weary, because they feel like there isn't no good women left. And you know what I'm saying? Like it can be, this walk can be very, I guess you could say lonely for lack of a better word. It can be very discouraging too,
right.
especially when people and you don't think the same, and you probably want certain traits in a woman and you just can't seem to find that. So it can be very discouraging. So I was just telling him, like, maybe it's just your approach, maybe it's the type of woman you're dealing with. And yeah, man.
And that's the key, man. It's because you got to realize, man, like Semen retention is like when you practice semen retention, right? And especially when you come from a godly perspective, it's two things that are happening. You know, I see a lot of videos about the female attraction, and the attraction is twofold. One, demonic, because evil entities are trying to get you back into your old way of living. So they create situations, temptations for you to steal your seed, right?
Right.
And then there is the aspect of it that when you do begin to retain your seed, you become peculiar, right? When your mind starts being renewed and you're no longer out there trying to like, you know, finesse women, and you're not chasing after every single skirt, right? And you're not liking pictures and you're not sleeping, right? Women that they're like, yo, man, what's up with this dude, right? Especially if you're in particular areas, like wherever you are, right? The women in that area, they're gonna notice there's something different about you. That's the other part of female attraction, where it's like this person is peculiar, he's different. What is it about? How come he's not coming at me like this, right? And what happens is when you are really and you're really, you know, locked in on your purpose, and you can look a woman in the eyes, and it's not about, you know, smashing her, right? And you can speak to her from a level of authority, and you're not afraid to voice what your opinion is about certain issues, and you're not holding back. That's masculinity, right? Women like a man who's not afraid to speak his piece, right? Like he's not backing down. A lot of dudes out here, man, they be backing down from these women because they be trying to hit, right? So they emasculate themselves in order to have sex,
Mm.
just diminishing their manhood. You know what I'm saying? Then what happens is when old girls start giving another dude attention and another dude hitting, right? If you that you might get your feelings hurt, right? Because now you got caught up in this web of how the dynamic of women and men is in the current state. The reality is women have more options than dudes. That's just a fact.
Facts.
They have more options. So when a woman has more options, that means her ego is going to be more inflated, right? So she can forget about you just like that, right? So we just have to stay within ourselves, allow our masculinity to be fleshed out through God, and God's gonna give us the woman we want, bro. That's just a fact.
Right.
He gonna give us the woman we want, man. And when we're not bound to, because a lot of times, man, these dudes are bound to porn, bound to masturbation. All of these things create erectile dysfunction, and they create anxiety when it comes to sex. When you fill your mind up with all these different sexual ideas from watching porn and all these different things, when you actually do get a real woman, you know, you're so nervous about performing well,
All right.
right? You get this anxiety, catch 21 popping pills. I'm like, you don't need no pills. Like, you function on a very high level.
Right.
But
Right.
you even hear the rappers talking about like, oh, I popped a Cialis. You 19. Why are you popping Cialis? You feel me? But because they don't have the confidence, because they flooded their minds with all type of sexual images and situations to where they don't feel like they can actually please that woman without some type of enhancement.
Right.
You feel me? And that's a problem. It's a problem.
Yo, I'm gonna try to get some more people in here. I'm gonna tell my Discord. I'm live with you.
For sure.
All right. Make sure everybody liking up the live too, because that
Oh yeah.
is good part.
Yeah, like up the live, yo. Let me get them likes up, yo.
All right,
Straight up.
You got a Discord or not? Not yet.
I created one, but it's not fully complete. It was doing some weird stuff, man. So I'm still trying to figure it out.
Got
Um,
you. Got you.
but yeah, still trying to figure the app out. TikTok is destroying the women, but most I always has a remnant. Fab is cap, most definitely, bro. TikTok is the devil, bro. Golly. Oh my goodness. Like you really gotta be careful on that TikTok, bro.
Yeah. See, I just promote on TikTok. I don't really be going through the feed.
Yeah,
Instagram for me is like the most temptations on there.
yeah,
But I don't even be on my explore page like that. I just go on there, check my messages, post what I gotta post, and sometimes I'll scroll. I catch myself scrolling, but then I'm like, nah, gotta get up off here.
yeah, man. Hey man, is your are you I'm getting some static from your end.
Oh,
Or do you hear static on my end?
nah, you're fine. It's probably me. I'm not sure. Can you can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh,
It's just like breaking up. But when it comes to like David and Bathsheba, bro,
right.
man, I'm like we face these situations all the time in our own ways, and um, one of the things I really trying to communicate to dudes is, God, the Bible says in Psalms 103 that the Lord remembers our frame and he remembers that we are the dust. And what that means is this, is that God understands your limitations. He understands your human frailty, right? He understands, and there's grace that he provides for us when we do fall, various temptations. One of the main things the devil does when it comes to men trying to, maintain a sexual purity is when you do fall, he hits you hard with that condemnation, bro. Like he hits you hard, and what happens is you feel like trash, right? You feel like trash when you release, you bust, you feel whatever mechanism you use to release your seed. That's not honorable to God. He hits you with that condemnation. And what happens with condemnation is it keeps you in a cycle of continuing to dishonor God sexually, right? Because you don't feel like you're worthy at that point.
Wait, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to go somewhere really quick.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, it was nice catching up with you. Hopefully, we can do this again.
For sure,
I
big
really
bro.
enjoyed our conversation.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
No problem, man. I got you.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my boy, man, Javon, man. That was good stuff, man. Young fella, man, doing his thing on the semen retention. And let me see here. Yeah, man, doing his thing, man. If anybody want to jump on, man, let me know, bro. I'll bring you on this bad boy straight up. I'm chopping it up with everybody tonight, man. But yeah, man, let's just do a recap, bro. Number one, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, stay locked in on that. Don't be like David, bro. And I ain't judging David. Come on now, this man was a man after God's own heart. We're just using this story for application purposes to see how we can better ourselves, to see how we can maneuver around these traps that the enemy sets for us. Don't be idle. If it's something that you have to do, just do it. If you have to go to work, just go to work, bro. Just go to work and get that money, right? Go to work and get that money. You stay home, you don't have a plan of why you're staying home, you just want to get some rest, you just want to sleep, whatever the case may be, that could be the opportunity that you release, that you do something you're not gonna be proud of, right? Number two, actually, this should be number one. is make sure you are spiritually prepared for the temptations that you will encounter. Jesus said, you remember when Jesus went into the Garden of Gethsemane? He was getting prepared to go and die. So he asked the disciples, he was like, yo, I want you guys to come and pray with me. Jesus went and prayed. He came back. He found the disciples sleeping. Jesus said, man, you couldn't even pray with me for 1 hour, bro. He goes away. He comes back. He finds them sleeping. He was like, man, how are you guys going to stand? You can't even pray. You have to be ready for the temptation that's coming. And when the Roman soldiers came to arrest Jesus, they were not prepared. They were not prepared, bro. They were not prepared, right? They didn't understand the mission that was going on. They didn't understand that Jesus had to die. Otherwise, his mission would have failed, right? You have to be spiritually prepared for the temptation that you're going to face. How do you prepare yourself spiritually? You pray. You spend time with God. You fast. You weaken your flesh. You meditate on God's word. You chop it up with other like-minded brothers who are on the same path as you. You eliminate anything and everything that will easily throw you off of your path. You have to eliminate it, right? Like we was talking about earlier, man, there's some people you just shouldn't be following on Instagram. You shouldn't be keeping tabs on them because it's going to be that one photo, that one video that they post, and you may lose your mind, right? You may lose your mind for a split second, and next thing you know, you're like, dang, I fell again, right? Because you wasn't prepared. Make sure you put yourself in positions to win. To win. Put yourself in positions to win, man. Put yourself in positions to win. Man, what questions do you guys have, bro? Any questions, man? Any questions that you have, man, let me know, man. Let's chop this up. What's your take on this story? What's the interesting spin, a different perspective that you wanna highlight about the story of David and Bathsheba and what transpired? Talk to me, man. Talk to me. Listen to this Bible verse. James chapter 1, verse 13 through 16 says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Don't allow yourselves to be enticed, yo. Don't allow yourself to be enticed and drawn away by your own lusts. Don't allow it. Don't allow it, man. The Bible says, be vigilant, be sober-minded, right? Be vigilant, be sober-minded, because your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Will he devour you? Will Satan devour you? Will you give him the opportunity to devour you? Come on, man. Be prepared. Be spiritually prepared. Spiritually prepared, man. It's a lot of lessons we can learn from this story. Bathsheba, bro. Despite her beauty, it's no excuse. There's no excuse. God has given us his law. He's also given us weapons that we can use to combat um, these evil devices that trip us up. You feel me? He can do that. He can definitely do that. So listen, man, you gotta stay pure, bro. You gotta stay pure and understand that one bad mistake, man, one bad mistake, your whole life can be turned upside down. Yo, hit the link, bro. I'll let you back in. Hit that link. Well, let me see. I already posted. Hold on. There we go.
Oh,
yes, sir.
nah. Yeah, I thought I had to go do some. We straight now.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. I was just saying, man, we got to stay pure out here, bro, because one bad mistake, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And your whole life is altered. Right. When I was coming up, you know what I mean? When I was coming up, I had to understand, and I wasn't reckless sexually when I was coming up. You know, I did my thing, but in my mind, I said to myself, I will not impregnate a female that I'm not going to be with. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to be out here just recklessly. I had dudes in high school that had kids and things, and I'm not knocking nobody who made those mistakes. I'm just saying, like, that was my mind state, right? So because I had that in my mind, that's what guided me when I went to college. That's what guided me my whole life, right? Just having some type of principle that I live by. I had girls begging to, like, oh, you don't have to use a condom. No, I'm using a condom every time, right? I'm not falling to these different traps. Now, I'm not excusing the behavior, you know, of being smashing all these girls. I wish I could take all that stuff back, knowing what I know now, right? Soul ties and transferring spirits, like, ain't worth it. You feel me? But for young men like yourself, I'll say this: your generation, those of you who are on semen retention, guys are like light years ahead of, like, it's really hard to like be that young and be in tune spiritually to understand, like, it's important not to be sexually irresponsible, man.
Right.
Man, it's a blessing for you and for anybody else out there that is retaining their seed, bro, for righteous purposes.
You know, I got a coworker. He watches my channel, and he was telling me like, "Hey, I respect everything you do, but me personally, I can't do that." And I notice a lot of guys say that, and I'm like, nah, that's just the enemy telling you you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just the end. That's just the stronghold in your mind that's making you say that. But you can do this because look at me. Look at you. I'm sure.
Right.
You know, and we was all down bad in our lust. So if we could do it, what makes you think you can't do it?
Facts, man. And you know, it's people can't imagine their lives without like sex, right?
Right.
I remember when I was out there doing my thing, man, this one chick, man, she asked me what was my Pornhub account or something like that. And I said to her, now this when I was out there reckless, but I just never been into, like, I never been addicted to porn. I'm not trying to like toot my horn or anything like that. I've obviously watched it before, but it's never been like an addiction, right? So when she said it as if like it
It
was like
was
having a
expected.
Facebook account.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like she was like, and I was like, nah, I don't watch. I don't watch porn. So
that put it to
she
herself.
looking at me like I'm crazy.
Right.
Like so that really hit me. I'm like, she really thinks like she looking at me like I know you lying. I know there's no way you don't have like a. I'm like so you got like a username and password like you got a whole setup and it was like normal. It's like yo, it's like having a Facebook, like having an Instagram, like having a Pornhub account. Or I'm like wow, and
Mm,
that's and you got to think, man, men and women. Women have unhealthy expectations, unrealistic expectations of sexual encounters, and men have the same thing. And if men don't really understand like the powers of retaining their seed, you're gonna get swallowed up in this day and age of females.
right.
You're gonna get swallowed up, bro, because you're gonna be one of 1,000, right? Seeking the validation of every female you encounter. And what happens is because you don't have any control over your sexual desires, because you don't have any control over your sexual desires, you will never be able to develop, you'll never be able to develop the willpower to actually be a man because you'll always be chasing, you'll always be seeking validation. What does it look like for a man to be seeking validation from a woman, bro? Like you really got to sit back and ask yourself that. Like, why am I out here seeking validation from a female? Like
Right.
you just got to hand in your man card. You feel me? You got to hand it in. You got to hand it in. You got to give the keys to that woman and bow down. You feel me?
Right.
I tell you, man, it's crazy. It's crazy because it says, wait, what does other social media?
Nah. So basically, he what he's saying is that the girl situation, asking you if you had a P Hub account. So he's saying wait, this site has a social media.
Oh yeah, okay, okay. You know what? Yeah, bro. That's crazy. But you know what? Facts. You know what? My man Pump 20. What's up, brother?
Glad
Um,
to see you, bro.
I
Wait,
want
that's what Bathsheba means, or no?
I don't know if that's what it means. I don't think that's
Oh,
what it means, but I think he's saying succubus. Like, cause
oh,
let's talk about Bathsheba for a second. Now, Old Testament law, right? Now, Bathsheba's situation is a little different from most because she's dealing with the king of Israel, right? Like David has the authority and the power. He can lift your head off his shoulders at any moment, right? He got that power. So he sends for her, but the law says that if a man is trying to take you, you're supposed to yell out. You're supposed to scream, right? So she could have like screamed and like yelled and said, I'm the wife of Uriah. She could have did all of that, right? Which would have made it difficult for David to sleep with her, right? But you got to understand her vantage point. She probably thinking, number one, how did he see me? Like, why is he requesting my presence, right? So she probably thinking like, she's curious now. Like, why does the king want to see me? You feel me?
mm,
Right? So she's not paying attention to the Old Testament law. Like, yo, because the Bible says if you commit adultery, right, you're supposed to be put to death. If the woman doesn't cry out, if she doesn't scream out and yell out, she's put to death. You feel me?
mm,
Obviously, Bathsheba didn't scream out and yell out because David was able to sleep with her pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? So from her vantage point, my man Pump 20 say succubus. I understand what he's saying. You know what I mean? But we gotta stay pure, bro. And it's freedom on this side. To be honest, man, it's a lot of freedom, bro. I remember when I was out there doing my thing, I thought I was a man. I really did. You know, I had my whips and I was doing my thing and I thought I was a man. But the only thing you're doing is loading up on demons. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Exposing yourself to all types of evil, right? I've had girls, they try to scare you by saying, "Oh, I think I might be pregnant or I'm late," right? Because they try to manipulate. You feel me? And but you can eliminate all of that if you're sexually pure, right?
Mm,
You wait for God to put in your pathway that Proverbs 31 woman, man.
that's a fact, man. I'm just patiently waiting for my time, That's why I'm just trying to stay strong on my journey. And honestly, like back in um, 2020, early 2021, before I even was where I'm at, with Christ and everything, like I was always stumbling. I was always going back to the sites because for me, that's what I struggled with, and that's what motivated my channel. That's what I kickstarted my channel based off of is just being addicted to pornography. And
Mm,
so that was my issue, and I realized that now God wants us to use his word to battle against the attacks that's going to be coming. You know what I'm
Ask
saying?
this: when did you first discover pornography? Like at what
Mm,
age?
um,
And how did you discover it?
mm, I would say probably either like maybe 10 to
Damn.
give you like an estimation, maybe 10. I don't know. I forgot.
Was that on a mobile device?
No, because
No.
like, if you know any like TV used to always show them little late night specials, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Right.
And then, growing up in a single parent household, sometimes mom not being around, you're free. You basically grow up by yourself, you
Right.
know, and you get exposed to those things like that at an early age, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And um but my situation was it was deeper. Like the way I got into pornography, it was deeper. From even when I was young, I was battling with this. And it was just based off of things that I seen as a child, and it kind of just manifested in me just expressing that through pornography. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that this is something I actually want to be vulnerable and speak with to my audience on my channel. I just don't know the right time, but I'm speaking it now. But it's bigger than pornography because it was based on what I seen.
Right.
Being young, I was exposed to things, and then it just transpired into the pornography.
Mm.
So that's how my addiction started.
Man, that's crazy, man. The reason I was curious about it is because you said you was like 22, right?
Yeah, I'm 22. Yeah.
And I know like this younger generation, like my son like 14, and he's had a cell phone since he was like 8. You feel me? So
Mm,
this generation is like pornography is so easily accessible, and you know it just locks you in, man. Like I'm fortunate because when I was coming up, we didn't have like it just wasn't accessible like that, man. You really had to get like a Playboy magazine or some, it just wasn't, you had to hide it from your moms, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't, we had the late night cable movies and stuff like, but it just wasn't like easily accessible. Like if I had grew up in an era where I had a cell phone all the time and it was just like boom, who knows what would have happened at 14, you know what I mean? Being exposed to that. But it's crazy how technology, it promotes evil and it promotes good, so you gotta live with the bad.
Right.
But men can be free, man. And you gotta understand, man, your masculinity is important. And when you are constantly releasing your seed, you are losing your masculinity, bro. And that's
Right.
what I don't understand. You are losing your you are emancipating yourself, emasculating yourself, um, by just becoming a slave to your passions. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's sad to see guys out there thinking they doing their thing, and you're just like, dang, dog, you really not. You feel me? I
Right.
got my little nephew, man. I'm like, bro, that's what I told him. He 19 years old. I say, listen, man, you 19 years old. You making $25 an hour at 19.
Word. That's
Yeah, he making $25 an hour at 19 years old, right? You guys little girlfriend, whatnot. He head over heels, bro. Like he head over heels, right? So I'm trying to tell him, I'm trying to be right? I'm trying to break it down to him. And I told him, this is what I told him. Because I set him up to meet with my man. He's a financial advisor. I set him up on a Roth IRA. I said, you making $25 an hour. You're getting minimum 40 hours a week. You're making a lot of money. You living at home with moms. My man gonna set you up. He set him up with an IRA. He said he's gonna contribute $500 a month to the IRA. I thought it was a little much for him. I wanted him to do like 200 or 300, but this is what I was trying to explain to him.
Wait, before you start, what is a IRA? I'm not
It's
familiar.
it's a retirement account,
Oh, okay.
right? So it's an index. It's a retirement account. So you put money in. It's like a savings account on steroids, right? Tied to an index. Index meaning like stocks, right? But it's a very conservative rate of return. It's not no big jumps, but the way you can take advantage of it being a young man is you get to take advantage of compound interest. So this is what I'm trying to explain to him at 19. I'm telling him, yo, you put this money into this IRA, right? $200, $300 a month. You do this for 10 years. By the time you're 30, man, you're gonna have maybe 500, 600 grand cash building in this retirement account because you're gonna get to take advantage of compound interest. So I'm trying to give him the game. He not understanding it. He too busy chasing behind this little girl, taking her out to eat. He had the IRA, stopped contributing to it. And I'm like, listen, man, this is what young guys need to understand. If I could say anything to you, I want to say this to you. If you don't take care of your business between 18 and 25, take advantage of not having kids, take advantage of not having a family, and really focus and grind, learn, invest your money, and not be focused on these women and things of that nature, right? If you don't do that, the guys that did, they're gonna have the girls that you're with now. Because when they turn 25, they're gonna have credit, they're gonna have houses, they're gonna have jobs, because they were out there grinding when you guys are out there chasing women.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get my nephew. I'm just like, bro, you can really be rich. Like, it's not that hard, especially when you're 19. All you have to do is put that money into this account every single month and never miss a payment. And you'll be rich. You'll be rich, right? But I'm trying to explain to him, like, the guys that have that stuff taken care of, 26, 27, 28, by the time they turn 30, they got a net worth, you feel me? And they roll around in that nice whip, and it ain't really hurting them because they have assets. That's who the women are going to gravitate to.
Right.
This is what's going to happen. So you can waste your time thinking you a player, you know, trying to smash all the little girls. But when it comes, when it really hits the fan, and your moms and your pops is like, man, you got to really get your own thing, dog. You can't really keep living here for free, man. Like, I'll let you stay as long as I can, right? You got to really do your own thing. Those women are going to gravitate towards the men that can provide.
Right.
Money is power. You feel me? And you got to take advantage of your youth, right? Like, you 22. If you get yourself a Roth IRA, bro, you contribute $200-$300 a month to it, bro. You're gonna have a lot of bread, bro. You're gonna have a lot of bread. That's just what it is. But it's so simple. It's so simple. And when you have that type of bread, right? You have that type of money because you're focused and you're dialed in. Your masculinity is even more enhanced.
Right.
Now you can provide. Not only can you stand on your principles, but you can stand on your principles and provide. You feel me? And that's going to make it easier for you to get that Proverbs 31 woman. God, like, oh man, my man, he got his stuff together. He not bound by these addictions. You know what I'm saying? He got a place for her to stay. He got a place for his that they can. That's what you got to be striving for as a young man. You feel me?
I might have to ask you some more questions about that, like after the live, because I didn't even know what an IRA was.
Yeah, IRA, bro. It's just a retirement account, right? But we don't really think about these type of things, right? These financial vehicles, like, you really should be focusing on. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you work a regular job, bro, it's almost impossible to get rich, right? But you can learn these things when you're retaining your seed. You're focusing on your grind. You have a very laser focus on your budget, and you accounting for every dollar in that mode. That's when you power up and get all that knowledge, right? It's gonna catapult you into the next phase of your life, right? That's what you want to use that semen retention for, that extra energy, that extra motivation, that aggression that you get, because your testosterone levels are a lot higher when you're retaining your seed, right? You want to use that to go out and accomplish things. Guys, we got guys out here retaining, bro. They retain just to get female attraction, just to smash, right? It's backwards. You gotta be investing in stocks. If you just work in a regular job, bro, it's impossible to get rich. It just is, and this is the reason why. Because of inflation, right? Inflation is. I'll give you an example of inflation, right? We have poor people, we have middle class, we have rich, and we have ultra wealthy. If everybody tomorrow received, let's say, $10 million, everybody on the planet, right, received $10 million. And then you decide, oh man, I got $10 million, whatever job you got, guess what you do? You quit, right?
Right.
But you don't realize that everybody's received $10 million. So you go to McDonald's, or you go to Chick-fil-A, or you go to the mall, or you go wherever, and you want to receive service, but you can't because there's nobody there. Because the person working at Wendy's, they got $10 million. And guess what they did? They quit, right? Person at Chick-fil-A got 10 million. They quit. The person working at the car dealership got 10 million. They quit. That's inflation. You feel me? And so what happens is when inflation kicks in, the value of your dollar goes down. So if you're making whatever you're making, right? Every year, the value of that dollar goes down because it can't buy as much as it could the year before. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I give you an example. When I was in high school, gas was 98 cents a gallon. Now it's like $3-4. So that dollar doesn't go as far. So the value of the dollar is less because of inflation. We have inflation because they keep printing money. So this is what you have. This is what young men have to understand if you really want to level up. Retain your seed and focus on your finances as a young man. Don't focus on women. If you focus on your finances and you focus on retaining your seed, the women are going to come to you. That's just a fact. And you're going to be able to pick the woman you want because you're going to understand what a godly woman is. And you're going to be able to be like, all of y'all step to the left. You three are left. Okay, boom, you the one. Right? And not only are you able to pick her out, but you have the resources to solidify your position as a man in her life. You feel me?
That's real.
Straight up.
That's real. Leon said we get in financial and spiritual advice.
Yo, dog.
Stop playing with that, man.
Philippians 4:8, whatever things are true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, good report. If there be any virtues and praises, think about these things. Facts. Virtuous women are part of that, most definitely. The virtual women are out there, bro, but it seems like they're non-existent.
Yeah.
They're like diamonds in the rough. You feel me? The diamonds in the rough, bro. You got to go to the places where these women are going to be. You know what I'm saying? And
God, it's really like the community too. Part of the community you're a part of and stuff.
Facts. Facts. What led you to do semen retention? Like, what was that epiphany? Like, how did that come about? Like, what made you say, you know what? Or when did you first encounter like semen retention? Like, did you see a YouTube video? Like, what inspired you? Because I see you've been doing YouTube for a little minute.
Yeah.
And you don't put out a lot of content. What was that? What happened for you to say, you know what? I want to talk about this.
That's a really good question. Back in 2019, I believe, I was just scrolling on my phone and I seen this video. It said why you shouldn't ejaculate, something like that. I wish I could find a video. I always say this because I feel like some of the credit is owed to that guy that made that video. And kind of like piggyback off of the whole financial thing you was talking about, being able to provide and stuff like that. I was just tired of being in that rinse and repeat cycle. You know, I was in high school. I would come home, fat, go to sleep, wake up, repeat every day or every other day. And then I was just tired of it. I'm like, yo, like, and I felt like my life wasn't progressing. You know, even though I was young, I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And I was like, nah, something has to change. Something has to give, you know, and I was kind of thinking long term with it too. Cause I'm like, if I'm just getting off to women through a screen, like, how is that helping me with real life women? So I'm like, something has to give if I want to change. Something has to give. And then I believe like there was a community talking about semen retention and stuff like that. And then that's how I was like, you know, No Nut November came around too. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna just try it out. I'm gonna see if I can do it. And then and then it just so happened that I did it. I think I must have went the whole month. I'm not gonna lie. Back in 2019, I must have went the whole month. And then, you know, obviously I felt short probably like a month after, but I went the whole month and I was like, yo, I really liked what I noticed, you know?
Yeah.
But back then I wasn't taking it as serious as now. But yeah, it really just came down to me wanting to do better for myself and for my future self. And I felt like, just like how, you know, I felt like smoking weed was holding me back. I felt like watching pornography was holding me back.
Right.
And that was probably the first thing I had to cut off.
Man, that's real. That's real, man. That's real, man. To be able to come into that this community, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's a blessing from God, right? I see the videos, chosen ones. It's really like that. Like if you gravitate towards this content and you like, you know what, there has to be a better way. I just feel like, man, God really let you into like almost like a secret society. Like this is where the real power is. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like this is where the real power is, man, because that lust, bro, it's deadly and it leads you to just a life of failure, bro. Like for real.
right,
Like you just can't achieve everything you want to achieve when you're doing it. And it's crazy because you see these famous musicians talk about this and you think like Lil Wayne, for example. I remember he was doing a interview. I forget who he was doing the interview with, but he was like, man, people think I'm out here just smashing girls and stuff. And he was like, that's really not what I'm doing.
oh word,
Yeah, he was like, I'm really just in the studio, I'm on stage, or I'm on the tour bus, and that's it.
oh
And he was talking about like, not just being reckless with the seed, but that's a life that he has to portray because of an image. You know what I mean? A whole rap scene image you got to portray, like you just have all these women. But I've heard a lot of guys like that are like successful, Elon Musk, um, other professional athletes talk about like retaining. Now, I don't know if they retaining for like righteous reasons, more so than just retaining to accomplish like goals or tasks that they have to complete. But I feel like when you really retain for righteous reasons, then everything else comes with it. You know what I mean? You know,
right,
not only are you honoring God and honoring your temple and preserving your energy, and you create other experiences for yourself. Sex is way better when it's not polluted with pornography and all those type of things. Um,
yeah,
it's just a way better experience. You know what I mean? And that's how it's supposed to be. But when you really do it for the right reasons, like it just really trickles down through every aspect, every area of your life, and you really don't have no choice but to be successful. You know,
right, exactly,
I remember when I was fapping, bro, I used to be like headaches. Um, I would be fapping and be like, man, I don't even know why I'm doing this. You feel
right,
me? Why am I doing this? Like, I don't even want to do it, and I'm doing it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that's when I realized, like, it's something more to it. It's a evil spirit, urging me to do this. Anything that you don't want to do and you just keep doing it, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm
right,
saying? And but that's one of the devil devices, bro. He don't want us to understand that he's in the background creating these situations. I see these videos. It's oh, masturbation is healthy. It helps you relieve stress. No, it doesn't. It does not help you relieve any stress.
I didn't feel no relief.
Right. I'm like, I'm depressed after I do that, man. Like, golly, why did I just
Yeah,
put
nah, honestly, in the moment, because I was thinking about this. In the moment, I guess you can say it release stress, but long
right?
term, and that's what they call the post nut clarity, right?
Yeah,
Long term, it's not good because in the moment, yeah, you just release some tension or whatever, but long term speaking, it's not good for you as a man.
nah,
You
it,
know,
it's gonna mess you up big time.
yeah. I was gonna ask you what like did you come across a video also that drawed you into this community?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what video. Okay, it was red pill content.
Okay.
So the first channel that I came across was Alpha Male Strategies, right? Dude talking about, yo, we're gonna F these girls to sleep. Like that was the type of vibe he was on, right? So but he wasn't talking about retaining, but it was because I was watching that content that the semen retention content came up started being suggested to me through that content, right? Because it's kind of all lumped together. You got the red pill content, you got semen retention. It's all connected. And then I came across, I don't remember the first semen retention channel I came across, but I think it was kind of one of those like generic channels. It didn't really have a face or personality behind it. It was kind of like one of like cartoon like type of videos just talking about semen retention. And I was like, let me check and see what this is all about, right? And I started looking into it, and I started seeing other videos, and I just kind of like, let me try this out. You feel me? Let me see if I can feel a difference. Because one of the things that attracted me to it was the aggression, high levels of testosterone. They was prompting it up like you get these superpowers. You feel me?
Right.
And then I was interested in the female attraction. I want to see, I want to see if women really can see a difference. If I read, so it was more like an experiment. I want to see if it was real. Now, mind you, I'd already knew like being sexually irresponsible because I grew up in the church and things of that nature. So I already knew that stuff was wrong, right? But no one ever told me like why it was wrong, other than just you just don't do it because God said don't do it. But there's also physical implications of why you shouldn't do it. You feel me? And also benefits that you receive as a result of not doing it. And I think this is what is not explained. Whereas people just say, "Oh, don't fornicate because it's a sin," right? But they don't give you like a whole background of information as to why it's beneficial for you to refrain from doing that type of stuff outside of the ultimate reason, which is, you are sinning, but also you're also making your life more difficult and putting yourself in situations that could potentially slow up your progress, alter your destiny. A lot of situations can pop off when you're searching for verse. So I think I want to test it out, and I did it. I went like 30 days, and like you, I wasn't really. I went back to fasting right after that because it was kind of like I was trying to get to the 30 days to see I did it. I felt the benefits of it, but then getting to the 30 days is like a relief, like I get the release again. You feel me? Like I ain't doing that again. You feel me? I just wanted to see I did it, but I can't deny like the effects. You feel different, right? I noticed like I just felt more manly when I was retaining.
Right.
I felt more manly. That's just a fact. I just felt more manly, and I was more aggressive. It was like I was on edge a lot more, not in like a disrespectful rah-rah type of way, but I could just feel like, because my testosterone levels had risen, right? They got shocked because they said when you start retaining, your levels increase by like 50%. So I just felt more aggressive, and I like that feeling, bro. I really did.
Yeah.
And then circling back, I was going through some things in my life, and I was depressed because I was fapping and a whole litany of other things that was going on. And I said, man, you know what? I ain't having sex. I ain't doing nothing. Right. I'm just gonna focus on really retaining and focus on building myself up and handling my business, making money and making moves. And that's it. And then that's when I started the YouTube channel. That's when I started the YouTube channel. And so that helped occupy my time. And the channel also keeps me accountable. And just a blessing, bro. Straight up. So I have
Right. I like that you said the channel keeps you accountable, because I feel like that too. It be days where I'm like, yo, if I really go back to my vomit, what am I going to tell my supporters?
Right.
Like, I don't want to have that conversation with any, like, especially people that's looking at me as kind of like a role model in a way.
Right.
I don't want to quote unquote disappoint them, even though we're not perfect, but I just don't want to go back to that feeling.
Right. Yeah, because it's you feel responsible. You feel me? You feel like, and that's how I feel. I told him this morning on the other live stream. I'm like, man, I feel a sense of response. God didn't give us the platforms to talk about these things and not be serious about it. You feel me? Like, so when I'm retaining, I want y'all to know, like, I'm retaining for real out here. Like, and I'll tell you, like this morning, I was frustrated because I had these sexual dreams and I woke up. And when you wake up out these dreams, you're left with the imagination of the dream that's in your memory, right? So I was just frustrated that I had to like subdue the feeling and bring it into subjection and to rewire my thoughts and to get myself on track. Because when you have those dreams from the enemy, from those devil give you those dreams, it's easy to wake up in fat because you're waking up, you're waking up aroused. You feel me? And it's like you gotta de-rouse yourself. You feel me? And I hate those dreams. I pray tonight. I pray every night. Like, yo, help me not to have those dreams, man. And this is still a work in progress. I know that it's a spiritual battle, and I'm gonna continue to fight that battle. But yeah, man, it's
Right.
real here. It's real.
Nah, it's really a battle for real, man. Hey, my guy, Daniel up in here, he say, "Yo,
What's up, bro?
it's good, man." Nah, yo, it's funny because one of my supporters, Jonathan, I don't know if he gonna watch the playback to this, but he really one of your a good supporter of yours. You know, he told me about your channel, my boy Jonathan. So I know he gonna like that. He wanted us to do this collab. So when
Oh,
I see,
for real?
yeah, he wanted us to do this. So
That's what's up.
when he see this, he probably gonna be happy.
That's what's up. That's what's up,
um,
man.
right. And he was another brother that I kind of asked the question for, you know, just dealing with loneliness, sometimes rejection also. Because as men, we face a lot of rejection, I feel like,
Yeah.
than women, you know, just based on the society that we live in and the circumstances. So like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to ask as much questions that I feel like other brothers might need clarity on, you know?
Right. One of the things is, man, when you think about rejection, it's all on how you look at it, right? It's like we feel like we're being rejected, but you got to ask yourself, what is rejecting me? What is
Right.
causing me to feel rejected? What is it that I'm seeking that doesn't want to seek me? What is it that I want that doesn't want me? You feel me?
Mm,
That's how you got to look at that, right? Because if you don't look at it with the right perspective, that rejection will help you feel lonely. Like, ain't nobody really rocking with me. But when you understand who you are, when you understand what your mission is, when you understand and you have that discernment between right and wrong, are you really being rejected? You feel me?
right.
Your aura, your essence, people ain't gonna vibe with it, right? But then you're gonna have people that do vibe. You feel me? You're gonna have women that's the type of man I want. Yeah, I can submit to him. I'll submit to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Women, the people that reject you, it's because you guys are not aligned, right?
right.
And if they are rejecting you and they are not like, and you're seeking that acceptance, but instead you're getting rejection, you got to ask yourself, am I in line? Right? You got to ask yourself, am I aligned? Because
Oh, he actually just joined.
what you doing?
Yeah,
Oh, what's up, my man?
his
Jonathan.
name Jonathan. Jonathan. He joined at the perfect time, man. Look at God working right there. Look at God working.
Facts, facts, man.
But nah,
Facts.
you could continue though. You could continue
Yeah,
because
you
maybe
just gotta,
other
you
people
just
can
gotta
come.
ask yourself, like, why do I feel rejected? You feel me? What's rejecting you? Is what's rejecting you? Is it wholesome? Is it godly? Is it perfect? Is it? You know what I mean? And that's how you got to look at those things. And then that all stems back to how are we viewing ourselves, right? Because it's easy to get caught up in that. You feel me? It's easy to get caught up in that. You feel me? Like we got to start doing rejecting. You feel me? You can't reject me. I'm rejecting you. You feel me? Like we ain't even on the same playing field. You feel me? And when you can see a beautiful woman and you don't get all in disarray. And I know sometimes we have our moments. I'm not saying you can live like this 100% of the time. We gonna we gonna be tempted, bro. You feel me? But when you can on the regular, like see these temptations and see these things coming at you, and you just knocking them down, right? That's you reject. That's you rejecting them. That's you rejecting that idea. That's you rejecting those notions. That ain't even the vibe I'm on. You feel me? I'm not even really. I don't even know you rejecting me because I'm not even really. That's not my vibe. You feel me?
Right.
I'm like the Most High, and I'm waiting for those things that He has for me are just going to fall into my lap. They're going to fall into my lap, and nobody's going to be able to stop those things from falling into my lap. You feel me? And then
Right.
with loneliness, you got to understand something about loneliness. Loneliness used to be a weakness of mine. Not to say that it feels good, right? But what happens is loneliness is when you can really hear from God and really get in tune with yourself and really understand who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. You can't look at loneliness as, or I'll put it to you this way: don't waste your loneliness
Mm.
because you ain't gonna always be lonely, right? So you are in a situation where people are not around, women are not around, and you're isolated. You have to take advantage of that time, right? Because you're not going to always be alone. So when you do get somebody, right, that's going to take your time away from you being alone, right? You want to be able to maximize that time that you were by yourself, right? How did you become better as a man? What financial goals did you reach? What task or things that you set out to do did you accomplish? You do that in the loneliness because
All right.
you don't have any distractions, right? It gets hard to accomplish those goals when you have distractions. So we just have to use loneliness to our advantage. That's when you love. That's your level up time, right? And then when you leveling up, getting the bag and getting the money and you're progressing and you're moving and you're going to different spiritual levels, you're going to different financial levels, you're going to different fitness levels, whatever the case may be. When that time of loneliness goes away, because it's just a season in your life. You're gonna have seasons of loneliness, you're gonna have seasons of, where everything's popping, everything's going right. You just gotta know how to deal with the seasons, man.
All right.
Not let that loneliness lead you into depression, anxiety, and those type of things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah. Shout my guy out, man. He said been waiting for this collab
Oh,
for a while.
Jonathan, what's up, brother, man? Thank you for being a supporter, man.
All right.
Crazy thing is, this was not even planned. It's just
That's what
came.
I'm saying.
It wasn't even planned, bro. So it
Word.
just came about, man. So appreciate the support, Jonathan. Really, just giving us feedback. Um, taking time out of your busy day, man, to connect with the community, bro. It's a beautiful situation.
All right. Yo, I feel like you can I feel like you would do good with a pod. Like you basically, this is your podcast, basically, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
That would be dope if you like, if we could have a sit down, like in person. That would be really dope.
for
You know,
sure. Yeah,
just
most definitely.
have a conversation like this. That would be really dope.
Where you live at? What state you in?
I'm in New York, man.
Oh, you in New York. Okay.
Yeah.
I love New York, man. I really do. I was
Or
there this summer.
are you was in the summer?
Yeah, I was in New York in the summer, like June or
Uh,
July, one of the things. It was in
yeah,
Manhattan.
man. I went to Florida like what 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Okay.
Um, and it was pretty cool out there. Pretty cool. And it's funny because I was on retention at the time, but it was
Mm,
so I was in South Beach, and at the time I didn't have God in my life, so
right.
I'm thinking like I can do it all on my own strength. I'm
Right.
seeing all these women on South Beach. I'm sure you know how that goes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know. So yeah, man. But I'm pretty sure Florida is a calm place, to live. Like
It
certain
is,
parts.
man. It's one of those states where the weather is always nice. Um, it's not as fast paced as New York, obviously, but it's depending on what part you live in.
Yeah,
But I love it out here, man. Like I didn't appreciate my home state of Florida until I went to college. I went to college in North Carolina. And I'm like, man, this ain't nothing like I need to get back to the peninsula, bro. I don't see no water. I don't see nothing out here, bro.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Um, but yeah, man, I love it out here, man. FLA, bro. Straight up.
Right. Nah, cause like right now it's mad cold. It's like probably like 5 degrees, 7 degrees.
Man, see, I thought it was cold up here, bro. It was like
Yeah,
42. And I got a big jacket on everything. You talking about 5 degrees.
it's actually 10.
That's crazy. I was actually planning on going to New York. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm gonna go to New York.
Oh,
Um, I was
where like now?
I was planning on it. It's too late
Oh,
now. I was gonna go
yeah,
like I'm gonna be like there today and tomorrow. I was thinking
yeah.
about this like a month ago, and I just never made the plans, man. So, have you
Right.
ever linked up with It's another YouTuber out there, in New York, uh,
Oh, TC?
TC. Yeah, you ever did anything with him or linked up with him out there?
Nah, I never did. Cause TC, I think he's from the Bronx.
Oh,
I used to live in Queens, New York, but then I moved up state. I'm basically like in the countryside, sort of say. So I'm like an hour away from TC, but
gotcha.
yeah, he's down there doing his thing, and I'm just repping for the countryside in New York. Repping for the
For
countryside.
sure. Baptist Cap, man. Where you live at now, bro? You still in Florida? Yeah, man. Um, it's a
It's
beautiful
like,
situation, man. I'm glad to be retaining. I'm glad that God has opened my eyes. Um, I'm glad that I'm not out here, living a reckless life like I used to be. Oh my goodness. But at times it do get like I understand what you're saying. Like sometimes you just be like, I don't want to be alone to date. You feel me? Like you just wanna. Sometimes you just want a female interaction. You feel
right.
me? Even if it's not like you got to be like, I'm trying to smash and all that. Sometimes you just want to, and it's natural because I mean you're a man. You feel me?
Yeah,
Sometimes you do get those moments where you don't want to hang out with. You feel me? For real.
I feel you on that one. Cause I don't know, a woman and a man, that bond is just what's the word I'm looking for? But it's nothing like that bond.
Right.
So I feel like that's why we be kind of yearning for it so much because that bond when you got a feminine and masculine, it's just something in the air. Like you said, even if you just having a friendly conversation, it's a nice feeling.
Right. Right. Most definitely, man. And man,
But
I
we honestly we touched on a lot though. I
we
feel like
did.
I feel like
Yeah.
we could definitely do this again. Like I said, I want to do it in person though. Like I don't know if we could set that up somehow, some way. That would be dope.
Oh, it's possible. Yeah, most definitely, man.
Or I could see like you having your little your podcast set up. That's dope, man. That's
For
dope.
sure. For sure.
All right. I actually need me a little a mic. I need me a mic. So
Yeah, man, get you one of these short NV7s, bro.
All right. Where you get it from?
I got this off of Amazon. It's like $250.
Oh, 250.
Or you can get they got the Blue Yeti. That's the mic I started out with. It's like $130. But they're USB mics, so they just plug right into your laptop or plug right into your phone. You know what I'm saying? It definitely does give it definitely does heighten the sound quality on your videos and whatnot. And so I had this for maybe like a month or so because my other mic went out. But definitely gives you a different vibe, different feel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got me a little cheap camera right now. I said camera, I mean mic. I got me.
Oh, I see. You got it from Best Buy? Where you get that from?
I got this off Amazon.
Okay. Okay.
This thing is like 45 and some change.
Got you.
So it's a little cheap camera. I be having to hold it up to my face because even if it's like far away, it's still not projecting my voice how I want it to. So I might need me a mic soon.
For sure. Shoot, man. Let me know if you want the file. I can download it and send it to you if you want to share it on your channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, appreciate you jumping on, man, and chopping it up with the kid, man.
Got you. And my boy Jonathan, he actually sent me your book. I've been so busy. Like I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out on my spare time. Probably this weekend actually.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate the love, bro, for sure.
All right.
All right, man. We're gonna holler at y'all, man. Hit the like button on your way out, man. Peace.
Yes, sir.